All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Commissioner Gage, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First item on the agenda is to approve our agenda.
Move. Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Feldheim. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next, we'll open up the meeting for any public comment. Is there anyone here to address the commission this morning? In person, out there on the phone or internet? Anyone have anything to go over this morning? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move right on. Next up is Julie Johnson with a Regional Jail Summer Study Summary. Good morning, Julie.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. My name's Julie Johnson. Oh, look who's here. Nice timing. And I've had the privilege of working with you over about the last 10 months or so on the question of jails and the legislative process. We just thought it was time to update all of you about the progress on that topic in Tier, and clearly we have Commissioners Weiss and Sutton who've been involved in all of that as well. We have a lot of people to thank, including the Sheriff's Office, the State's Attorney, judges, and all kinds of folks who helped us with this issue throughout the course of the summer. And the legislative interim, the legislators, the delegation has been amazing as well. So there were really 6 committees that we thought would be in play on the topic of jails and county funding for them, including one that we helped create, the interim study on regional jails and state correction plans. We helped create that through a concurrent resolution at the last legislative session. So that one got a good start, and we were fortunate to have your support and the committee's support to have them meet here in Aberdeen. The Sheriff's Office really did yeoman's work in helping with all of that and to allow tours of groups of legislators in the facility so they could see it firsthand. That really makes quite a difference when they can see the circumstance and hear from the experts on the ground, in my opinion. So I'll come back to that here in just a minute. But there was also a study on juvenile justice that we thought we needed to connect to somehow. In the end, we reminded them, they studied a lot of topics and they did an amazing job all summer long. But in the end, we reminded them that some of the topics needed to include space for juveniles, that we too don't have the right amount of space for juveniles even here with the amazing facilities and programs that we have here in this area. There was also a study on called the Incarceration Construction Fund. As you'll remember, at the last legislative session at the very end, they created what is called the Incarceration Construction Fund. It contains $86 million set aside by the last legislature for uses at this time. Now, that is also money in reserves that the governor has set aside for building a new state penitentiary. So that study included Commissioner Weiss, and so you got an inside view of the state's correction needs. And for a while, we were inside that conversation with the state on the question of providing more space for women's prisoners. That issue has changed quite a bit since Hughes County made a deal with the state on the women's prison. So at the moment, we are not in that conversation, but of course that can change. The recommendations from that committee, I'll allow the commissioner to make it right here, but included the role of local governments and how you can play a role in helping the state when you have that capacity, such as we did for a while in this conversation. There was also a study on the property tax structure, and we were concerned as that went forward about what would happen in that conversation if the topics of the cap and all of that got in the way of funding these things at the county level. Those really did not become the work product of that committee in the end. They didn't really adopt recommendations that we thought might be on this topic or even on what convened them. So I'm not too worried about that in getting in the way of this work, at least. That's a whole different topic as well. We also attended every meeting of the Appropriations Committee during the interim, and they had great high-level briefings on the current status of remaining ARPA dollars and other federal dollars that are COVID relief related. So we have a pretty good idea of how many of those dollars remain, should we need to know that number going forward. So we're privileged to have had the Committee on Regional Jails and State Correctional Plans meet here in Aberdeen. Thank you for your support of that. And we provided testimony, I think, at 3 of their committee meetings. The last one, Commissioner Weiss attended as well. That's where they adopted their final plan, their final report, and in that they make several recommendations, including encouraging regionalization of jail facilities and collaboration with state correctional plans, appropriate funds to be used to assist construction of regional jails, distributed as grants to counties through a revolving loan fund or a combination of both is their recommendation. So that refers back to that $86 million pot that I alluded to a few minutes ago. They made a few other recommendations, including a look at the property tax freeze and county revenue as well. So I won't read all that to you, but that committee went about as well as it can. The committee also created a bit of a subcommittee that will work on how that fund may be structured in a proposed piece of legislation. We offered some thoughts about how that could work, and we'll work with that subcommittee as they go forward. And the right people are on that. The Aberdeen legislators really stepped up on all of these, so we owe them a huge debt of gratitude. And so now we're getting ready for January, February, and March on this topic. But I do think that another thing that you were able to do with the talent from the Sheriff's Office and the State's Attorney were putting a face on the nature of the problem. Why jails need help, and whose prisoners you're holding, and why this is important, and no, this isn't just every stop sign violation in your community. I think that helped to transform all of that. So with that, I'll be happy to stand by for any questions. Oh, I should mention also that last week the LRC's Executive Board did adopt the recommendations of those committees, and so that they put their seal of approval on the fact that they'll go forward to the next legislative session. Of course, the next legislature has 35 new legislators, so we have some relearning and reteaching to do. But we're thankful that our delegation was able to step forward and that some of you were able to participate actively in that whole process. And I'll stand by for any questions. The Sheriff's and the State Attorney's Office may have input that I'm not aware of, but thank you. I'll stay tuned.
Well, on behalf of Brown County, I want to thank you for your efforts and attending all the meetings, or as many as you could. I know it was valuable to have you in the room listening, our eyes and ears there, and appreciate you giving this recap and summary, and I'm sure others will have questions. Any questions of Julie?
Well, I'd like to say I was got myself placed on one of the committees, as Julie noted, and attended almost all of the other committee meetings, and with Julie's help, we did a great job, as far as I'm concerned, in heightening awareness on the issue, not only of Brown County and the region, but across the state. It's an important situation and frustration that's been kind of kicked down the road, and it's not an easy thing to try and allocate funds to try and address these kind of issues. I had 2 phone calls this morning before the commission meeting, and we have neighbors and other folks that we're trying to assist and take care of the needs that we have in Brown County, but also in the region from some of our counterparts very interested in seeing this project succeed, however it happens to come through. So logistically, it's not an easy thing to do. And I really applaud and appreciate Julie's participation in this and everyone else's understanding and support. It's been an issue for a long time, and it's not one that's going to go away.
The only meeting I was able to attend was the one here in Aberdeen, as you alluded to, down at NSU. I thought that was very well attended. I think we had close to 100 participants and guests and so on. A lot of great testimony by a lot of informed people to heighten the awareness of the extreme need for a regional facility here in town, and the surrounding counties that attended also offered their support and the need for something for their counties. So I was very encouraged by the meeting here in Aberdeen, and I'm sure the rest of them went as well also.
If I counted correctly, Mr. Chairman, there were 14 counties represented at that meeting, which is pretty amazing, so. All
Those
good.
are probably the 14 target counties that we've been working with.
Yep.
Yeah, it made an impression on the legislators.
You bet. Any other comments, questions of Julie?
Gentlemen, Jerry, do you want to add anything about it?
I think where we at now is if we woke the sleeping bear. If it is not, we don't get it fixed now, I don't know if there will ever be a better opportunity for us or the state to get something done. I appreciate all of your guys' help to getting all that set up.
That's true, that $86 million is a one-time opportunity.
A few weeks ago, we had the pleasure of taking First Gentleman Brian Noam on a tour of the proposed building here in town, and I believe his exact words towards the end of the tour was, "It's almost as if this facility was built for a jail." So he was very impressed with the idea that we have and the plan that we have going forward. We showed him architect's plans of what we want to do, and he was very encouraged and was anxious to take that back and talk to the person that makes the decisions. So, anything else for Julie? Brandy?
I have one little comment. With the new election of leadership, I would encourage those counties that are possibly going to be doing this compact or with us to really talk to their legislators about funding, because appropriations might be a little mixed up with the new leadership and new positions that people are being assigned. So maybe want to note that to the other commissioners and sheriffs and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's going to take a coordinated effort very quickly.
Very much so.
But
We know we have a lot of work ahead of us.
Yeah.
several of those key people participated in a lot of these conversations, so there's a heightened awareness there, but can't miss the opportunity, so good point.
Senate Appropriations has been appointed, the House is not appointed,
Right.
officially
Right.
sent them out for the record yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Any other questions for Julie?
Excellent. Thank
Julie,
you.
we really appreciate you coming in today and giving us this recap, and look forward to see what happens the next few months here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Julie. All right, next up, Mackenzie Bierman. Let's talk about the Brown County Fair rodeo contract. I saw her come in. Morning, Mackenzie.
Good morning.
Have a chair.
Morning. Big smile on her face, I like that. Good.
Well, I think the RFP went through last week for the rodeo, and so Rachel worked on that contract and sent that over, so I think we're just looking to approve that contract and get that authorized to sign today.
And that's with the Bailey Rodeo contract?
Yep.
Are there, say, the recommendation of the fair office and the fair board is to go with Bailey?
Yes.
I would move it.
All right, we have a motion by Fikert,
Second.
second by Weiss to approve the signature of the contract with the Bailey Rodeo Group. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mackenzie, that was easy. That was quick and easy. All right, next up, Dirk Rogers, Highway Superintendent, 4 right-of-way occupancies for Northern Electric. Morning, Dirk.
Morning. How you guys?
This one's quick and easy. Good, you?
Let's see.
You're not even late.
In the train about, I thought I was getting reports of a county pickup spinning cookies. I was trying to get around the train, but, I would like these done in 2 motions if that's cool, because these first 3 are all the same contractor and they're all from Northern Electric and they're in the same neck of the woods. I think they were in your packet for once.
Yes.
The first one is on, County 5 and 400th Street, which is, there's 5 and there's 400. They're just gonna be putting in a service, they're gonna bore through 5. And the other one from that area, 20 and 20A, out here. They're just going through right here on this side. Again, it's just updating, services.
In the ground is a little safer than the outside.
Yes.
Um,
And then, oh, we got one more. I don't know how I managed to take 4 things and get this confused on them, but 20 and 5 is the other one over here.
Okay.
They're all just new, updating the primary electrical services at those 3, so I'd recommend them.
You want how many motions?
I need one for those 3.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion by Feldheim, second by Weiss to approve the right-of-way occupancies. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
I put that
Motion
on
carries.
there, and I called that guy and talked to him, so it's cool. And then the other one, same thing, they're just updating the service, but it's a different contractor in a different part of the county. It's at 23 and 2 down here, and they're just going through, excuse me, it's over here. They're going through 2 right north of 23. Same thing. I would recommend that one too.
I'll move it. Second.
Motion by Fikert, second by Weiss. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
That's all I got.
All right, no highway update, everything's cool?
Yeah, real cool. Obviously better since the sun came out, and, that's about all we've been doing is trying to deal with. That's, dealing with the ice a little bit. We have been working on a couple of you were at the township meeting last week. We are working on the culvert program. We've gotten 5 of those in for the township so far. And I gotta get with Lynn and get the money squared away, get it all in the right spot, but, that's going pretty well. And actually today we're hauling a little gravel. Believe it or not, we have hauled almost no gravel until today. So we'll get started on that and see what we can get done before winter knocks us out. And I think we have most of our stuff stashed for the winter as far as equipment goes, and do a little more pipe work and some stuff like that.
Sounds good.
That's
Perfect.
Did I fill the time good there?
How's the old Lakeville coming with extra scale?
You know, I can't even tell you. I haven't heard an exact date. I would assume we're still gonna try to get it done this winter and get started on it. You know, dirt projects, if you work them every day, you can go a long time before stuff freezes too bad, but I'm gonna play stupid on that one, Doug. I'll find out for you and get a better
Was there a
update.
deadline set on that when they were supposed to start?
No, just a completion.
I was by there yesterday, there's nothing.
Nothing going on. So, we did mow it out, we have to haul some pipe up there, we're supplying all the pipe.
I see it was mowed out.
Yeah, a few things like that, but we'll, hopefully by spring, but yeah, we'll have a hell of time getting their ice shacks out there this year. Have to figure something else
That question
out.
has come up.
Yes, I know. We'll get done spending $500,000 so we can easily get ice shacks out on the lake. State money.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Very good.
All right, I'll be gone tomorrow, but you can call me, and, have a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You too.
Thanks, you as well.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Unless it's politically incorrect to wish a good Thanksgiving anymore, I don't
You're
know.
fine.
I think we're okay on that one?
We're good, yes.
Okay.
We're in this building.
All right, next up, second reading and, possible adoption of ordinances 231 through 234.
Brandy.
Thank you, Brandon.
Ordinance 231, an ordinance amending Title 4, second revision, Brown County ordinances amended to rezone certain described properties. Be it ordained by the Brown County Commission, Brown County, South Dakota, that the petition to amend Title 4, second revision, Brown County ordinances as amended to rezone the following described property filed by Todd Ochsner of Ochsner Real Estate LP is hereby granted, in Title IV, Second Revision, Brown County Ordinances is hereby amended to change the zoning on the following described property from Chapter 4.06, Agriculture Preservation District, AGP, to Chapter 4.15, Light Industrial District, LI, the south half of Section 19T123N, R64W, lying south of railroad right-of-way of the 5th PM, Brown County, South Dakota.
All right, is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 231? Anyone out there on the phone or online? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve.
Move. Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Weiss. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Ordinance 232, an ordinance amending Title IV, Second Revision, Brown County Ordinances as amended to rezone certain described property. Be it ordained by the Brown County Commission, Brown County, South Dakota, that the petition to amend Title IV, Second Revision, Brown County Ordinances as amended to rezone the following described property filed by Jared Jangula is hereby granted in Title IV, Second Revision. Brown County Ordinances is hereby amended to change the zoning on the following described property from Chapter 4.06, Agriculture Preservation District, AGP, to Chapter 4.07, Mini Agriculture District, MAG. Proposed Lot 1, Jangula subdivision in the northeast quarter of Section 24, T123N, R65W of the 5th PM, Brown County, South Dakota.
All right, is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 232? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion.
Move. Second.
Motion by Feldheim, second by Weiss. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Ordinance number 233, an ordinance amending Title IV, Second Revision, Brown County Ordinances as amended to rezone certain described property. Be it ordained by the Brown County Commission, Brown County, South Dakota, that the petition to amend Title IV, Second Revision, Brown County Ordinances as amended to rezone the following described property filed by John Daly is hereby granted in Title IV, Second Revision. Brown County Ordinances is hereby amended to change the zoning on the following described property from Chapter 4.06, Agriculture Preservation District, AGP, to Chapter 4.07, Mini Agriculture District, MAG. Lot 1, first subdivision of Beavers Outlet 1 in the north half of Section 21, T126N, R64W of the 5th PM, Brown County, South Dakota.
All right, is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 233? Seeing none, entertain a motion.
Move.
Motion by Gage,
Second.
second by Feldheim. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Ordinance 234, an ordinance amending Title IV, Second Revision, Brown County Ordinances as amended to rezone certain described property. Be it ordained by the Brown County Commission, Brown County, South Dakota, that the petition to amend Title IV, Second Revision, Brown County Ordinances is amended to rezone the following described property filed by Stacy Goslin is hereby granted. And Title IV, Second Revision, Brown County Ordinances is hereby amended to change the zoning on the following described property from Chapter 4.08, Residential District, R1, to Chapter 4.13, Commercial District, C. Proposed Lot 1, Old Crow Addition in the northwest quarter of Section 17, T123N, R63W of the 5th PM, Brown County, South Dakota.
Is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 234? Seeing none, entertain a motion.
Move.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Gage. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, moving on to the consent calendar. Lynn?
Approval of general election canvass meeting minutes of November 14th, 2022, and general meeting minutes of November 15th, 2022.
Move. Second.
Motion by Feldheim, second by
Right on
Weiss.
today.
Motion by Feldheim, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claims and payroll.
Move. Second.
Motion by Pfeiffer, second by Gage. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
HR report.
Move.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Feldheim. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Zoning ordinances, set the hearing date and authorize advertising.
Move.
Motion by Feichters, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Platt?
Move. Second.
Motion by Feldheim, second by Gage. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Sheriff's report for September 2022.
Move.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Gage. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Travel request.
Move.
Motion by Feichters, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, is there any other business to come before the Brown County Commission this morning? Anything that anyone would like to add? We've had a request by HR to go into executive session for personnel, and we'll also include contracts. Ross, anything legal?
Yeah.
Okay. So personnel, contracts, and legal. Anything else?
Fun.
All right, entertain a motion to go into exec.
Move.
Motion by Feldheim, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are... All right, we're out of executive session with no action as a result. Is there anything else to come before the Brown County Commission this morning?
Just comment that, had a couple of phone calls from the Frederick area. The ice was, pretty concerning to them, as it was for everybody in the county, but in this particular case, I called Dirk, had a nice conversation with him, and about a day later, got a couple of phone calls that they had salted up in the area, was out at Walmart on Sunday shopping, and a guy come up to me from the Frederick area, shook my hand and thanked me for the salting trucks coming out and salting the area out there. So, and in conversation with Dirk, he said that literally the amount of salt that the state district office here, that they use in one ice storm like this, one pass, is more than the county uses in the entire winter. So you just gotta explain to these people, you have to slow down to 35 miles an hour or whatever it takes, and we try to do the intersections, and we're just not set up to salt the entire county, every solitary road. And so they were happy.
Too many miles of blacktop to get through it all. We got enough personnel, equipment, or time.
Gravel was just as bad.
Yeah, it was.
Probably worse.
Now.
You get in a rut and
Marbles
just throw you around.
Now. Yeah, let's not have an event like that again for a while.
Exactly.
You mean like tomorrow night?
Every few years, you can stab.
I'm saying that's what they got it forecast for tomorrow.
All right, is there anything else to
Move to
discuss this
adjourn.
morning?
Second.
Motion by Feldheim, second by Weiss to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.